To my cocina. Today we are cooking chile verde con papas y queso, which is green chili cheese, green chili potato and cheese. So I start off with first roasting my pasilla chilies, and I roast them till they're nice and dark all the way around. Once I've completed the roasting, I either do two things. I either put it in cold water so that way they can stay al dente, or I also put them in a plastic bag and just let them sweat. Once they sweat, then you can peel them and they're good to go. So in this case, I've already done my pasilla chilies. And then I have put them in my cold water and let them sit there for a while. Okay. Once I've done that and I've diced my green chili, I also added a jalapeno pepper, which a jalapeno is this, and I've also roasted it and I diced it and completed the roasting process. So then I put in my oil. I let that get nice and hot. Once I put my oil nice and hot, I add my potatoes. I cut one potato. I diced one potato. It could be anyone, yellow and red. I use the red because it stays a little bit firm. I like my potatoes a little bit firm. I don't like them too mushy. Let them saute for a while till they're a little nice and firm. Where's my spoon? Okay, just get it out. We might have to go all over. That's funny. Sorry, I forgot my spoon. Anyway, I sauteed my potatoes so they're a little soft. Bring the heat to a medium. Now this is just a home videoing, so of course we're going to have a little bit of air. This is a blooper. Once my potatoes are nice and tender and they're sauteed for a little bit, you're going to add the rest of the ingredients. This is all Mexican or Spanish tradition. So this is what we had at home all the time. This is one of my sister's favorite foods. She could have this over steak, filet mignon. She could have this every single day. Me, I like a little bit of steak. She likes cheese. So once I've sauteed my onions, my potatoes, I have my white onions, which this is a half a cup of an onion. I added one large potato, and now I have a half a cup of diced onion. Saute that with my potatoes, combine to that, and just let it stir in till they're nice and tender, and my onions are caramelized a little bit. It take maybe about a minute and a half. And just kind of stir it a little bit so they doesn't stick. Okay. Once your onions are sauteed and they're translucent and your potatoes are a little firm, that's when you're going to add your peppers. Again, these are pasilla peppers. There's a pound of pasilla peppers and one jalapeno. Now you can add one more jalapeno. You can make them more spicy. I like spice, but not a lot of people like spice. So what I normally do is I try to make at least mild in one portion, and then whoever wants to add more spices to it, that's up to them. I just put those aside so they can add it to their own plate. So once that's done, I add my peppers. Okay, mix those, combine everything together very well. So simmer that for about, I'd say, a good minute and a half, 2 minutes, just so everything is incorporated. When I have that and I'm letting that simmer, I add some salt. So we have maybe about 2 teaspoons of salt. You don't want to add too much because sometimes depending on the cheese that you're going to use, it can make your food salty. Then a couple of twists of fresh pepper. Now, right now, this is all kind of vegetarian. So this is all for my vegetarian friends. They could just leave it kind of like that. They don't have to add any cheese or anything like that. But you can also add tomato bouillon for the vegetarians, or you can add tomato and chicken bouillon for the people that are not vegetarian. So I add about maybe a teaspoon. What is this? 1/4 teaspoon, 2/4 teaspoons of the tomato. And then the chicken bouillon, I do the same. 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon here. Let's make it 3. And again, if you are a vegetarian, just omit the chicken and then just add the tomato or vegetable if you have some of that. Mix it really well. Okay, so now pretty much my potatoes are pretty, they're kind of al dente, kind of a little bit firm. My onions are translucent. My peppers are nice and mixed together. Once I've done that, I add a little bit of garlic, 1/4 spoon of garlic. Actually, I added 2. And again, it's all to taste. Some people might not like too much garlic. Some people might not like too much salt. My daughter doesn't like too much salt, so she prefers only to have a little bit, not a lot of salt. Once that's done, I add 1/2 cup of milk. Now you can, again, change it. You can omit the milk and change it to water. You can add chicken broth. You can add water. You can add vegetable broth. All of those taste the same. Me, I like a milk, and I like it because I like it hearty. But I've done it every way, and it's just as good. Once you put in the milk or water or broth, just let it simmer. Let it simmer for about, I'd say, a good 5 minutes. Once you've simmered it for a good 5 minutes, then you're going to add your sour cream, which I have sour cream, and your cheese. And the reason I say 5 minutes and let it simmer, because that way you're definitely sure that the potatoes are fully cooked. And as you can see, you get a great broth. You could use it with a dip. You can make it even thicker if you like. I like it a little bit loose, so that's why a little bit more of a saucy. So I like to add a little bit more milk. Once that is done, as you can see, I'm going to add my sour cream. You could add cream cheese if you like. I'm telling you, this is awesome for, a party. You can have it as a dip and so on. So look at how nice and creamy that is. Once you've done that, now you're going to add your cheese. You can add any cheese, mozzarella, Parmesan cheese. This one right here happens to be Monterey Jack, and that's really good with it too. But any cheese that is your favorite, if you like a little bit more tart, add a little bit of even feta, whatever your preference is. Whatever I have on hand is what I like to use. Once you've done that, mix it all together, stir it for about, I'd say, a good, just till the cheese melts. And there you go. Don't forget that you got to taste it a little bit. Let me get a spoon here. Just a taste to see. Awesome. It is so good and delicious. Okay, so let me put it in a plate here. I'm telling you, your family will absolutely love this. And actually, this is one of those dishes that if the more it sits in the refrigerator, the better it is. So this is green chili, potato, and cheese.